Time for the beast to be unleashed. Number 3 in the LAMS section of bikes. Let's do a first start. Back on another bike. Today I have the Suzuki SV650, brand new 2022 model. This is the LAMS approved version. This is one of the best options out in my opinion. Very close to like the Yamaha MT-07, and today we're taking it out, comparing it to the other LAMS bikes available, and yeah, we're gonna have a walk around. We'll do a 20 to 100 pull on the on-ramp test, have a little first riding impressions of this bike. This is one of my favorites, not only because it's actually a really good bike, but I've had two SV650s. They have a really cool heritage of racing, not because they're super fast, but they were just a super reliable engine, super cheap to buy, and you know, they had a really good chassis and a really good platform, and people bought them up, converted them to race bikes, and there was, you know, just tons of series of races with these SV650s. People just love them. Let's talk about ergonomics. This one's really good actually. Seat height, I'm 6'1", 32-inch inseam. I've got a good bend in both of my legs, so height is going to be pretty much irrelevant with this bike. Anybody's going to be able to ride it. You've got that V-twin sound, around 650cc-ish. Not a super powerful bike, the SV650, and you know, not super high tech. This bike has a similar LCD screen to the MT-07, just inverted, so it has the white, you know, backdrop with the black writing. Going back to ergonomics, this one feels good. This is definitely one of the more comfortable motorcycles you can get in a LAMS range. This is the naked sports classic kind of look, I guess. The handlebars feel nice and narrow, and I'm, you know, pretty much perfectly upright. So yeah, really nice, comfortable position. Let's get out ahead here so we can slow down for the on-ramp. All right, 20k an hour, first gear, and go. 100. This one power-wise feels similar to the Z650 Kawasaki. A little bit slower than that bike perhaps, but not a hell of a lot. However, the thing you're getting from this V-twin engine and 6-speed transmission, by the way, is it's very, very smooth. This bike is much better fueled than the Z650. I noted when I was riding that bike, the Kawasaki, it was just quite snatchy in the low rev range, so where you're really, you know, going to see it is going around roundabouts, car parks and things like that. With that Kawasaki, you really need to feather the clutch a little bit to get a smooth U-turn, whereas this bike and the MT-07 are much smoother. This bike is obviously a V-twin, where the MT-07 is a parallel twin. Brakes feel good. You know, in this kind of price bracket with these learner bikes, you're getting pretty similar spec really when it comes to like brakes and suspension. Very smooth transmission. Suzuki's do transmissions really well. They always have. The seat isn't quite as comfortable as some of the other bikes I've ridden in this category, but it's not too bad. Just could do with maybe a little bit more padding or something. Controls are really good. Basic, you know, you've got a cable throttle, it's not fly-by-wire. You've got hazard switch, standard passing signals, indicators, horn, and that one-touch start now that Suzuki have upgraded to. They used to have it so you would pull it, you had to pull in the clutch and hold the starting button down like Triumphs, but yeah, they've upgraded that, which is nice. And this bike does come in at a cheaper price point. One of the really great things about the SV650, this is a brand new model and it's only about $10,000, where the MT-07 you're paying almost $2,000 more. Same with the Z650, and you are getting that really solid Suzuki reliability. Mind you, most of the bikes that we have in this category are super reliable, so I like that this bike has black handlebars. Everything is kind of blacked out. This bike is twin spark as well, so you have 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So 4 spark plugs all up. That's mostly for efficiency. This bike definitely does feel slightly more comfortable to me. Definitely more comfortable than the Z650. The mirrors are pretty good. I'd say about a third of it is covered by my arms, but very little vibration out of them. They feel like they're decent quality actually. Because you have that slight little bit of extra power on the MT-07, you know, it's definitely noticeable down low. I mean, everybody knows that Yamaha CP2 engine is a real gem. It's been a favorite for a long time. And it just has that little bit extra power that's going to keep you busy for another kind of year or so and not make you feel like you have to upgrade. Saying that, it really depends on your personality. You can have a lot of fun in this one. I'm going to take it to the Twisties here in a minute. You're just going to get a little bit more entertainment for a little bit longer out of the CP2, I think. However, you are paying that extra money. This bike has a really, I don't know what the word is for it. It has a really reassuring feel to the lean-in, like the ride quality in general. It's a very easy bike to ride at a quicker pace. Because it's a V-twin engine, the power is lower and you tend to run out of power at the higher RPM, so it loves to sit in that kind of mid-range RPM level. Where the CP2 being a parallel twin with that cross-plane crank, you really get like power all through the rev range and just a little bit more of it. But as I'll show you in a minute, even me coming from my Aprilia TUONO, you know, I've got a super bike, I've got an 1800cc Harley at home, and even coming from those to these, it's surprising how much fun you can have on a little bike like this. Right, let's try the breakout as we come into the twisty roads here. Another one behind me. Yeah, really good brake feel, especially when you consider the price. I'm in 4th still. Chugs along perfectly fine. It does feel really at home on these corners, you know, like for a small capacity, lower power bike, you can really have fun on it. You don't have quite the corner exit power that you do on a MT-07. I think this bike is one of the perfect balance bikes when you're talking about learner riders. You can ride this bike really easily if you have you know, never ridden a motorcycle before, if you're just getting onto it and you're maybe a little bit intimidated, you've just got your learner's license, but you want to get something that you're not going to get sick of instantly. Anyway, we're coming up to the first look spot, so we'll check back in with you guys when we pull in there. Alright, here we are guys. Let's do a slow speed maneuvering test, have a bit of a walk around, show you some of the features of this weapon. So, slow speed maneuvering, easy. Really good on and off throttle. If you saw my Z650 video, you can see this one, when you go on the throttle, it doesn't kind of snatch you back, whereas the Z650 kind of had quite a snatch to it when you were in, you know, low speeds like this in car parks and roundabouts and you were going on and off the throttle. Could be a little bit of a problem. Still a great bike though. Alright, let's have a look at this thing. 2022 Suzuki SV650 LAMS approved version. You can get a full power version on this bike as well, but here we have it. It's a LAMS approved version in black. I really like this little detail actually, it's cool. I think it's just a sticker, it's not carbon fiber, but that same kind of feel to it. That's quite cool. You could easily put a slip-on on this bike and open it up a little bit, but you can see that V-twin engine there. As I said, this one is a twin spark, so it has 2 spark plugs per cylinder. You've got the oil filter right there, really easy to change. You're going to want to put something over that exhaust pipe when you're doing that, but really easy to maintain these bikes. And honestly, these bikes are so bulletproof that there's not much maintaining needed, really. I really like this tubular magnesium colored frame, looks really nice. Black engine covers, black wheels. It's really a good looking bike, honestly, and it looks like a proper sized bike. It does feel small when I'm on it, but it looks like a decent sized bike. Me at 6'1", 32-inch inseam, I don't feel too uncomfortable on it. That seat isn't the best. I would probably look at changing that if you could get any options for that. I'm not sure if there's a factory option, but yeah, I'd probably put a more comfortable seat on it. Tail tidy, definitely necessary to clean it up. You don't have any LED lighting with this bike. You know, part of that cheaper price bracket is you have the just standard halogen bulb in your headlights, but you know, you are paying less money, so you can't expect too much. Alright, let's give this thing an exhaust note test. Has a good note to it, actually. It sounds nice. I'm definitely putting a slip-on it because you get that V-twin rumble out of it. You know, this is the thing with these V-twin bikes and like the CP2 engines, you get a really nice sound to them. Something nice to have, you know, whereas like when you're looking at bikes like the Z650, if you prefer maybe the look of that bike or you just prefer something about it, you're just not getting the same kind of sound you are out of these ones. Just kick a leg over it and get moving. The joys of test riding motorbikes on a Monday morning. Oh, is that 600 or 1000 CBR? Sounds like 1000. Yeah. Time for the beast to be unleashed. Really good on the motorway. I'm not getting much vibration and I'm not really like ringing it out, you know. In 6th gear at 102 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, I'm at like 4,500 RPM, so it's good. It's good. You could commute on this on the highways and be pretty comfortable. You're not getting a lot of roll-on power if I kind of back off to like 90. Actually, you know what, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's fine. Right, I'll check back in with you guys when we get to the on-ramp anyway. Jumping off the motorway now, I'll give you my final thoughts. Honestly, in general, I think this bike is extremely good value for money. You know, you're getting enough power to have some fun. I've said that multiple times. You're getting a really nice smooth transmission, really smooth engine, very easy to ride. You know, it's stable on the highway. You're getting that Suzuki reliability, and this is another one of those bikes that just has a cult following, which generally means there's a huge aftermarket support for like parts and customizing it, and at the price bracket it's in, you can't really go wrong. Suzuki reliability. Surprisingly stable in the corners there. You know, you get some nice flowy twisties going on. This bike feels great. Even for my weight, it still handles fine. Suzuki SV650, thanks to Whole Shot Motorcycles. See you guys in the next one.